My talk is called Fishing for Sales with Online Marketing. Everybody that's been out in the weather for the past couple of weeks probably knows that it hasn't felt much like summer, but what is today? Actually, it's the last day of summer. So I'm sticking to it. We're still going to go fishing later on today, and we're still going to catch some customers. So what BizzyWeb does, we've been doing this since 1999, and we do web design and social media. And basically, all the social media stuff has kind of grown since then, or since '99, and actually since 2008 when I took my business full time. So I'm very much familiar with being a small company and a new business and getting started, because we've been doing this every single day. We've been starting over, it seems, for the past 3 years for sure, but ever since '99, before Facebook was even before Zuckerberg was practically gleaming his parents off. This is a great time to be doing business. Everybody loves this stuff, and it's easy to connect with people in a way that it never was before. The more that you can reach out, and the more that you can connect with all of your customers and your fan base, and hit them with direct mail, and come out and bring them to your site, and bring them to a place where they're going to want to build a relationship with you, and then do business with you, even if it's not the right time, right now, the better off you're going to be. The way that this looks for BizzyWeb oftentimes is we do strategy setups and fan pages inside of the website side. So we set up a home base for our clients where we do a site, and then we build up their Facebook page and their LinkedIn company page so that you see all of the employees and all of that stuff and everything that they're doing. And then your Twitter account, so you can talk about hopefully more than ham sandwiches and kitties, but that's what Twitter gets the bad rap for. But keep moving things forward and connecting with people where they prefer to be connected with, right? So no matter how brilliant your website is, and we put together really brilliant websites, I think, I can't guarantee anybody that they're going to visit, their customers are going to visit their site every day. But people are going to Facebook every single day and checking in on what their neighbors are doing, or making sure that they didn't accidentally post something about the party last night on Facebook, right? So it's a great way to connect and to really be meaningful in what you do. So let's talk about fishing for sales. We're gonna reel in some stuff. This is what the rest of the talk is going to cover. What are you fishing for? What's your rod and reel? And the rod and reel for me is the website. The tackle box essentials: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, SEO, email marketing, all of the stuff that you need in your bag of tricks to catch that big one. And then setting the hook, and of course hiring a guide, because we know how important that is. All right, so to know what you're fishing for, you have to set a strategy. We have to get out in front of people, and we have to figure out what's the back end of all of this. What does it mean? What are my customers looking for? Who are my customers? And how can I make this work for them? It's really, really easy to waste time in social media in particular. Who's gotten onto Facebook and then an hour and a half later, all you really know is that Farmville has made a whole lot of your life gone. You know, it's not good. If you know what makes you the best and you can share that with people, and you can help them to figure out what they want and tie that to how you can help them, you're going to be well set to move forward in social media. And then, of course, you're going to want to measure those results. I'm going to move around the room a little bit to make Pat squirm. So after you get that, you want to get the perfect rod and reel, right? The rod and reel, that's the thing that everybody bases their fishing experience on. So it's also the thing that everyone needs as a hub. So when Mike sets up pearls, they go to the website of that company. Or when you do the QR codes, or when you're on Facebook, all of that stuff should tie back in. And there's a bunch of reasons that you need to have your website as your hub. The easiest one is so everything that you do everywhere else ties back to one place, and that one place is easy to find on Google, right? So whatever you're searching for, whatever you're hunting for, all of that stuff is all going back to one spot. And if Google changes its, or if Facebook changes its terms of service and says that, you know, hair salons can't have websites on Facebook anymore, they're in trouble. But you've always got your website, and you own that, and that's yours. So we want to make it as easy as possible for people to connect with one another and for you to reach out where people like to spend their time. So if I'm out and I'm a big Facebooker, you want to be there for me. If I'm not into Facebook, if I think that it's crazy and only kids are there, even though ages 35 to 45 is the fastest growing market in Facebook, I want to make sure that I'm on LinkedIn and that I'm connecting, especially if you're business to business company. And then you just want to be on Twitter if you're looking for the happening people, the oversharers of the world, the folks that are in the group. Yeah, Twitter's almost like CB radio was in the 70s. Everybody's like, breaker, breaker, come on in, you know, I'm tweeting about my ham sandwich, right? To do this and to catch on to where people are and where they're enjoying themselves, and to make sure that you're connecting with them in a way that makes them want to do business with you is really powerful. So, let's fill up the tackle box. Social media. Here's a few handy tips about all of social media, especially for businesses. You're not about sell, sell, sell. If I meet you in a cocktail party, and we connect with one another, and I say, hi, my name's Dave Meyer, what do you do? It doesn't matter what you do. I sell websites, and you really need a website. It looks like you need a website, I can tell by your hair. It's probably not going to go all that well. If the hostess or host are next to me in the room, they're probably going to usher me out of the room. And you can see people that do that all the time in social media, especially on like LinkedIn groups or on Facebook fan pages where all they do is blah, 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 this is what you need to buy from me. You haven't built a relationship with them yet. And you need to help them and let them know how you can connect with them and how you can make their lives a little easier, or that they can trust you that much easier. Know your ROI, and everybody talks about return on investment. I like to talk about return on input. A lot of the stuff in social media is technically free, but it takes a lot of your input to do that stuff. So having the strategy and having the measurements and having everything set up in advance is really, really helpful, so that you're not wasting your time by going to Farmville or checking out whatever the new crazy thing, or God help you, complaining about Facebook like everybody seemed to be doing yesterday because they changed it. It's not that big of a deal, guys. So if you know that, and if you create a mix of that content, you know, a third of it should be about you, a third of it should be sharing with other people, and a third of it should be sharing links and helpful information. If you do that, that keeps you from being a one-trick pony or getting boring to the people that you're connecting with. There's a lot of Twitter handles out there that just share quotes of the day, or just talk about the party they had last night. That's not helpful to people. And so you want to be a real person, and this also applies to cocktail parties as well, by the way. You don't want to always just talk about one thing, and you don't want to always talk in monotone and say, yeah, I really had a great time with my spreadsheets last night. It's just not interesting. So you have to make sure that you keep it interesting and fun. All right, so the next thing on the tackle box is the Facebook company page. Who here has a company page already? Who has a profile? More hands should theoretically go on. Okay, so if you have a personal profile on Facebook, that means that you're on Facebook as a person. If you've set up a personal profile on Facebook where people have to friend you or friend your company, Facebook's going to get wise to that eventually, and they're going to turn that off. You have to have a Facebook company page in order to use Facebook as an organization. If you haven't done that, you know, go right to facebook.com/pages, and you're 5 minutes away from having that. It'll ask you, are you a local business or place? Are you a company, organization, or institution? They also give you 4 other options, but frankly, for businesses, those aren't all that important, so I didn't include them. But you have to be out there and connect with people. Brief anecdote. I had a client of mine, he was an electrician, and got really, really excited about this Facebook thing about a year and a half ago. Connected with everybody. So if he had all of your business cards, you'd be getting a friend connection from him, from Bob's Electric, Bob's not his real name, from Bob's Electric, and saying, hey, let's be friends. Worked really well for him. He was doing some business, he was connecting with people, but he was doing it as a personal profile. So Bob's Electric was trying to friend people. He got up to about 5,000 people that way. Worked on it for about 10 months. And in the meantime, I had run into him and said, holy cow, Bob, you really need to back off of this, and we need to set you up a company page, because Facebook says right in the terms of service, don't do that. And sure enough, right after we set up the company page for him, he got his account suspended. Facebook sent him a not-so-nice letter that said, your Facebook page or your personal profile is in violation of our terms of service. We realize that this probably upsets you that we just deleted it. Frankly, we don't care, and don't send us an email about it. They actually said, don't send us an email about it. So you want to make sure that you're doing it right. The other benefits of having a company page are that you're viewable on Google, and anytime you publish something on your company page, that adds to your search engine ranking. That adds your brand, so when people Google about the things that you're talking about and you're doing on Facebook, you're going to show up on there. It also helps them show up on Bing and Yahoo as well, because if you've got a lot of people that like your page, and they're searching for something and it shows up in the list, especially on Bing right now, it'll say, Bob, Mary, and Joe also like this link, right inside of the search engine results. So they're searching for electrician, and it says Bob, Mary, and Joe, who you happen to be connected with, like Bob's Electric. Talk about powerful to have the friends of people referring people to your company without you even having to do anything. So, Twitter. This is the one that everybody's confused about. Let's see another show of hands. How many people are on Twitter as a company? Awesome. Wow. It's usually about 30%. This is closer to 50. Twitter is really easy. It's really fun. It also gets a bad rap because it's so easy that people get caught up in it. And so they'll tweet about things that are goofy. You know, Charlie Sheen, they just had the roast of him on Monday. And his entire internet flameout happened over Twitter, where he was tweeting about tiger blood and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But it's just because it's that easy to share information. Now the flip side of that is if you're smart and if you know what you're doing and you're willing to share some of that expertise, that's going to work out really well for you, because it's going to take you about a minute if you want to do a well thought out tweet. You know, it takes 30 seconds to do 140 characters, but in order to do a well thought out tweet, it's probably going to take you a minute. And share a little bit of behind the scenes of your company, or your information, or your brand, or your service, and connect up with people. The other cool thing is that you can really easily connect with experts in the field. And if you do that enough, and if you connect with people enough, and again, it's that third thing, if you reach people enough, you're actually going to start becoming that expert. And then, the next time people find you, they're going to say, oh yeah, I read this tweet by Dave Meyer, and he was talking about how you probably shouldn't tweet about your cats. And you should stop doing that, Mary, because you tweet about your cats all the time. So go check them out, right? That's a great way to become an expert in your field. Anybody watch Mythbusters? Don't Try This on Twitter is Adam Savage, and he tweets quite a bit. And it's always funny because he'll tweet about, oh, I just lost my eyebrows again, because he just made up something. So a lot of fun. Follow early and often on Twitter. It's really... The rest of the social networks require some sort of a social contract, right? Where you have to friend somebody on Facebook, or you have to connect on LinkedIn. With Twitter, it's all bets are off. Just connect up with people, and they hope that you'll connect back with them. So follow everybody that you find interesting, and that's the best way to grow your follow list, because if you follow somebody, it's likely that they'll follow you back. And then, by all means, be interesting. And then integrate it into other networks. You can set it up so that every time you tweet, it goes out on your Facebook page, or it goes out on your blog, on your website. It's cool, and it saves a lot of time, but it's also a little bit dangerous if you don't watch what you're tweeting to other people. So if you've got all kinds of ham sandwich tweets on your Facebook company page, people are going to wonder if you're a doubter. So be careful and be sure that you're sharing what you should share if you decide to take advantage of all of the social networks. Let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the boring uncle in the corner. Really, really helpful, and it can get you a job if you really need it. But LinkedIn is incredible for branding your company, for being useful, especially among business to business, and for building this and moving things forward in an official kind of way. Like, you can't post pictures or videos or all kinds of stuff. You can do links and stuff on there, but it's less easy to get crazy on LinkedIn than it is anywhere else, which is a good thing for a lot of people, which is why it has 115 million people on it. But if you look at it, you know, there's all kinds of ways that you can reach out. One of the ways that LinkedIn is getting more Facebooky is by doing company pages now. So if you're an employee of a company, if you've listed yourself as a company, or as the employee of the company, the next time you go back in, you'll probably see that you have a sign-up or the ability to edit your company page. It just kind of happens automatically. They take some stuff from Yahoo, they take some stuff from some third-party association thing. But so it's kind of like weird. All of a sudden you just show up. But then you take advantage of it. If you're listed as an employee, or anybody in your company is listed as an employee at your company, they can edit this page. If you do that, set up your services and set up your profile so that people are interested in this and so that they're working with you. Awesome. Thank you, Pat. Yeah?
It's also very difficult to unravel that.
Yes.
People know.
Yes. Yes. It's very interesting.
If the
and
wrong
there's lots
employee does it, it's hard to unravel that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm jabbering away. I'm already at 15 minutes, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. But filling up your tackle box with things like SEO, making sure that people can find you, and I'll talk a little bit about these. Anybody that connects with me on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or sends me an email or sends me a direct mail piece with a pearl on it that I can snap, I will send them this presentation so you can get all of this stuff. But with SEO, make sure that your site is visible. I'm shocked at how many companies don't have any metadata on their site yet. That's telling Google, hey, don't bother, I'm not really interested in being found. Look for how people will find you, what search engine terms they're going to use to find you, and make sure that that's listed on your site. And then paid advertising, Google and Facebook. The one thing that you can do with these tools that it's hard to do anywhere else, especially in like email marketing, is to drill down and say, I want people that just moved in the last 2 days that are female and 35, that have brown hair, and that just got engaged. You can send them a message on Facebook. It's a little harder on Google, but you have that kind of laser focus that you can do. And then you can just say, I want to spend $500 and reach as many of those fine women as I can. And then it happens. And then email marketing, of course, you can get out, and everybody still uses email. So I have this other graphic in another presentation that I give where email is this massive thing, and then the entire world of social media is about this big inside of that. So everybody's still using email. So if you can target and just take everything that Mike said about direct mail and apply that to email, and it's really, really similar. There's a lot of pop now to having something in your hand, though, so that's really cool. So set the hook. Make sure you always have a call to action on your website. If you're going to spend all that time and effort in making sure that everything's working for you, you can pull it out and make sure that they like you, or make sure that they're giving you their contact information. Make sure that it's happening. Make sure that something is going on to make it stick. And then keep casting until you get them. Consistency is the key. You want to do this. You want to have a social media program where you're doing a post or a tweet at least every week, and probably every day, depending on how often you need to get out in front of your people. The Hire a Guy, that's us. That's my kids, and that is about the biggest fish I caught this summer. Wanted to talk through a couple things on how BizzyWeb can help. We do SEO strategies. Everything that we talk about, we guide through with our clients, and I have a few clients that I'm proud to say are in the room with me here. So ask them, and they'll give you the secret handshake. It's really, really cool. Web hosting, e-commerce, I love to talk about this stuff. So if you have a Rotary Club or something that you want to reflect or refer me to, I'd love to talk. Quick contest and giveaway. So downstairs, if you can drop a card in our bowl, we're going to put you in a drawing for a $15 iTunes gift card. And then if you post or put a comment on our Facebook wall, we'll do the same thing. 2 separate drawings. So if you want to make sure that you really stand out, go to Facebook and like us and then do the thing, because that you'll probably, I'm guessing, will have a much better chance. And then one person's going to win from each. And then from September only, Reed in the back in the blue, hey Reed, he's got a great handout that talks about this stuff. Well, we have a special out right now for $9.95. We'll do a Facebook landing page and a Twitter account page and an hour of training on how to get all this stuff done from a business strategic perspective. Or if you decide to do a website with us, we're going to throw in hosting for you for the first 2 weeks. So, that's us. Thank you very much for your time.